There we go. All right. Hey, everybody. This is Dr. Chris Featherstone. Ladies in the Raw, once again, we are here. And we are here, ladies and gentlemen. He took a week off because, he had some things to take care of. He tweeted about it. He had some business to take care of with an eye of his that was turning heel. But ladies and gentlemen, he is back and better than ever. Vince Russo, how are you tonight, sir?
Dr. Chris, I am back with a dead guy's lens in my eye, bro. A dead guy. And I don't even know who the dead guy is, but I want to thank him very, very much. It was an organ donor, and I have his cornea. So I want to thank him very much for that.
Well, it's very, very nice of whoever decided to donate his cornea. As he is no longer with us, but he is with us through your vision, Vince. So that's how it works, man.
Yes,
indeed. Speaking of vision, man, is the vision clear for you when it comes to WWE after Survivor Series?
I got it. Chris, you told me I got to watch the language. I got to be a good boy. Bro, this is so bad. Like, it's Chris, I'm sorry. I'm not a hater. I promise everybody I'm not a hater. But Chris, the one thing that really pisses me off, it's not the creative. Creative is subjective. Some people may love things that I hate, and I may love things that other people hate. Creative is subjective. I've learned that. Bro, we're not talking about the creative here. We're talking effort. We're talking effort, Chris. And as a wrestling fan, I just get so disgusted when I'm sitting here and I'm watching a 3-hour show and I'm like, could you have put 10 minutes of effort into this show? Are you guys slapping each other on the back after this show about what a great 3-hour epic this was? That's what pisses me off, Chris, is when I just feel like zero effort went into the show, bro. To me, that is an insult and a smack in the face of every wrestling fan who still watches this show.
Yeah, and I think that Survivor Series didn't help it, though. I think the concept is so irrelevant. I mean, it's a bragging rights all over again. 2009 and 10, I think it was, when bragging rights was around, and it only lasted 2 years for a reason, because the concept of the pay-per-view was not very good. Now this is a bragging rights all over again. You have Raw versus SmackDown, and it's hard to draw some steam from a pay-per-view that is the second oldest pay-per-view of the year and has become totally irrelevant. So it's hard to make it. It's hard to come from that on the Raw after an irrelevant pay-per-view.
Chris, I said this when they started after the September. What was the October pay-per-view?
Hell in a Cell thing.
After Hell in the Cell, I said, bro, just turn off your TV for the next month. Because every November is a complete throwaway for WWE. And I said it, bro, the first week of Raw in November. I was like, bro, literally shut off your TVs. You're going to see absolute crap. This brand versus brand doesn't draw. They have the numbers to know that it doesn't draw, and nobody freaking cares, bro. But because, bro, I don't know what it is, Chris. I don't know if it's laziness. I don't know if it's lack of pride, lack of insight, vision. I don't know what it is, but gosh, bro.
Yeah. And what you said was correct. After, there were some good matches on Survivor Series. The action was good, but I've said this plenty of times in the 8.5 years I've been podcasting. Look, wrestling is about moments. I can give you a match. I can give you a good match and, a dime a dozen, nowadays. You're in the wrestling business because you're good at it, obviously. So, I mean, and there's something about you that is compelling, or nowadays, the in-ring capabilities are really good. I mean, especially in AEW, NXT, whatever. But I could tell you moments. I had a conversation recently on one of my shows about someone asked me what my favorite Undertaker moment was. And it's crazy because I thought about SummerSlam 94, Undertaker versus Undertaker, when primetime Brian Lee was the fake Undertaker. I thought about just well, it was something else. The debut at Survivor Series, and I'm thinking I mean, although Undertaker is one of the greatest of all time, when I think about my personal favorite Undertaker moments, it's not necessarily, oh man, it was a 5-star match against CM Punk. You know what I mean? It wasn't that. It was his character was so compelling that I thought about particular moments. And that's what wrestling's all about. It's about to suspend our disbelief. It's to capture the moment and cause us to be like, all right, I'm already spending 3 hours looking at choreographed, predetermined people, half-naked people in underwear. Now you have to make me, understand, explain that even more to a person by bringing them in. Am I going to be too embarrassed to say, okay, we're already watching people in underwear wrestle, at a choreographed stage fight? Am I confident enough to bring someone else in my room and say, hey, watch this? You know what I mean? And nowadays, unfortunately, like, back in the 80s and 90s, absolutely, group times and college and things like that. But nowadays, just doesn't have that type of feel. It's kind of embarrassing to tell friends who haven't watched wrestling for a while, hey, come in and watch this. It's kind of embarrassing nowadays.
People forget, like, Chris, bro, the Survivor Series used to be on Thanksgiving night. It was a big freaking deal, bro. You would have Thanksgiving dinner and you were looking forward to the Survivor Series, and you watched it with your family and you had a good old time and you enjoyed it, bro. Like when I think of that, bro, I'm not going to waste 2 minutes of my time watching the Survivor Series on Sunday. I didn't watch a second of it, but I was really thinking about those early ones and what they meant and how it was, like, literally, bro, a part of the holiday. And I'm like, guys, like, how have you fallen so far? Like, what the heck happened?
Yep. I agree, man. I agree. It's funny that the first Survivor Series, November 26, 1987, in my home state of Ohio, Richfield Coliseum. It was Thanksgiving night.
Yes,
and I remember being over my aunt's house for Thanksgiving at Survivor Series, and there was a bunch of us just collectively, and she's never been really a wrestling fan, but it was a bunch of us collectively watching Survivor Series at Thanksgiving.
Chris, I'm 26 years old. Think about that. And I wasn't a wrestling mark. I never was a wrestling mark. But, bro, I was 26, and this show was cool enough and hip enough and entertaining enough that at 26, I wanted to watch this show.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. All right, so let's see how Survivor Series turned out as far as Raw is concerned. So Team Raw won Survivor Series. They had in-ring promo, and Adam Pearce, the WWE official. For those who don't know who Adam Pearce has been around for a while. He's a big indie wrestler for a while. He was NWA champ for a while. He actually assisted with keeping NWA on the map during its kind of quiet days, or over the past, I would say, 15 years or so. NWA was really quiet and kind of had that indie feel again. But Adam Pearce was actually one of the top stars at that time. So Adam Pearce, he was really big in NWA, really big in ROH. So I'm actually happy that Adam Pearce got this opportunity because he's been in the business for a while. He's paid his dues. So he's like an in-ring official now. It's kind of like an unofficial GM in a sense. He's in the ring with the Team Raw people. Somehow everybody's stating their case of why they should win or should be number one contender. This ends up to Braun Strowman shaking Pearce, end up giving him a headbutt, and then that's really it when it comes to that segment. Vince, your thoughts?
Well, Chris, everything you laid out about Adam Pearce, the problem is that there is not one casual fan in the world that knows who Adam Pearce is. I don't know Adam Pearce's track record. I don't care to know Adam Pearce's track record. All I know is I'm saying to myself, why am I looking at somebody that looks like just a regular guy, like somebody I would never, ever care about? Like, why am I watching, this guy when there are so many dozens and dozens and dozens of people out there with personality that we do know that they could put in that role? I don't know why this guy's in the role. With all due respect, I'm sure Adam Pearce is a great guy, but bro, it's freaking paint drying. Like, why do I care about this guy?
I'm glad you brought that up. Do you think that is kind of a kind of like an edict or kind of like a directive from the top of the the official, now they call him the WWE official? Do you think that it's kind of like a directive from the top of not having that role have its own identity anymore?
I mean, why? Like, Adam Pearce has been on TV. First of all, they never established it. They never introduced us to him. Mm-hmm. They never told us how we got in that spot. And for as long as he's been in that spot, like, I could give two craps about him. Like, he brings nothing to the table. He doesn't add to the show. Bro, I tell you, my takeaway, and I pop every freaking week. My takeaway in this first segment was, thank God we got the Shatner out of Bruce Lee over there, whatever his name is. He gave us the Shatner, which is always entertaining. I need my Shatner fix every week. But outside of that, this is totally ridiculous. I mean, bro, if a casual viewer is surfing through the channels, they're laughing at this. Is a mockery. That's why
Stevens Russo.
Well, that's
what you really mean.
Yeah. I mean, bro, like, what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I was listening to Keith Lee and I was like, I thought about you. I said, man, Vince is going to eat him alive, man, with these promos.
and then Strowman, for whatever reason, he's wearing gloves now. I don't know what his hands are cold. I don't know. The worst freaking headbutt maybe in the history of the business. And that's how, and bro, I guess that's called starting the show hot. I guess.
Yeah, right.
Their version of starting the show hot, bro.
Yes. And that's one of those pat on the backs, like, oh yeah, we got this one. So you ready? You guys ready? Yeah, here we go. And then somehow there's one little circle on Pearce's head.
It's funny, Chris, because Chris, you got to understand, like, I've written 1,000 first segments. Chris, when you're a writer and you're writing this stuff on the paper, bro, when something sucks.
Yeah.
Like, there were many times when I was writing something, I'm like, no, bro, like, this sucks. And it doesn't stay on the paper.
Yeah.
But there's stuff that sucks stays on the paper. And it's like, bro, this is the first segment of what's supposed to be a big pay-per-view. And this is what we got. Okay, well, that sets the tone for the rest of the night.
Yeah, that's a good point. Didn't really set a very good one. New Day against the Hurt Business. So backstage, there was some discussions going on with them. Somehow, a conversation led to another tag team title shot. They beat them clean last week. But somehow, hey, this is our off day, Kofi said. Woods gets upset with Cedric Alexander getting his face, and Here we go. That's all you need to do to get a title shot.
That's it. I mean, that's it. That bro, that's what I mean about zero effort.
Yeah.
Just zero effort, man. It's embarrassing. It really is, Chris. If that's what it takes for you to have another title match, how are you in your whoever is coming up with that, including Vince himself? How are you in that position to be able to come up with that stuff that's so bad? How are you in that spot?
Yeah, and why don't that allow anybody else to just come up to a title holder and just pick a fight with them? You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know, are you man enough? You know, why don't everybody just go to Drew McIntyre while they're in the, you know, while he's there? If they know where Drew McIntyre is, just go up to him like, hey, are you man enough? You go put the title line, you know, and just do a backstage segment of that, and there you go. So.
Bro, I swear, I really like when I watch these shows because I'm a big TV guy, bro. And I have, you know, I work with a lot of, you know, of the network bro, I swear to God, I watch this show and I feel sorry for USA Today. I'm not USA, I mean USA Network. I feel sorry for them because I'm like, bro, how do you guys like week after week after week? I mean, whoever is responsible for this show, they got to be looking at this like, what happened?
Mm-hmm. Now, from your experience, and you worked with USA during your time there. Now, does USA at all kind of give some type of observation and feedback based on that at all?
Chris, not a lot of people know this, but I'm going to share this with you. And if Vince knew this, he would have been ballistic. Bro, do you know when Ed and I left the WWE and then like when our WCW run was over?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, do you know that USA Network paid Ed as a consultant to watch Raw every week?
Mm.
So Ed would watch Raw and give them a very, you know, well laid out summary of the show, and Ed would also pitch ideas. So like it sounded like it was coming from the USA Network and they knew what they were talking about. But again, bro, that's the cockiness and that's the egos of the people in the wrestling business. It's like they're looking at the USA Network and it's the old, oh, who did you ever beat? You're going to tell us how to write a wrestling show? Bro, I'll tell you right now, an 8-year-old can tell them how to write a wrestling show right now. So, yeah, bro, you know, the network does, you know, I mean, they offer notes, they offer suggestions, but, you know, it's, you know, again, within the bubble, the network is laughed at. You know, what do they know? What have they ever booked? And they continue to put this stuff on.
Wow. Wow. Seeing how if it wasn't for the network, you wouldn't even have Raw. So
exactly, man. Yes.
Yeah. Backstage, we have Adam Pearce. He gets a medical update. He gets approached by Bobby Lashley, and this happens a few times, and this leads up to 3 matches with incentives as far as a triple threat match at the next week, and then we get another backstage with Randy Orton being approaching Pearce, and then we get Lana interview backstage. She gets, you know, is kind of playing the, I don't even know really what she's playing right now as far as just, you know, clearly it's, you know, she's a baby face now. It's what it appears to be, but she's kind of seems like she's there and kind of like, okay, well, I don't deserve, I guess her dignity is just totally buried because of the Samoan drops. She doesn't even think that she deserves a title shot, and she was the sole survivor, quote unquote, at Survivor Series. What are they trying to do with Lana, Vince?
God, I just think they're trying to make her look as stupid as possible, bro. It's and you know, again, somebody said this. It was the remember Lucha Underground?
Oh yeah.
Remember the character who kissed the guy? Who was that? Perez.
Yeah, Carlina, or yeah, Catalina. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Well,
Yep.
she, I swear to God, she put it beautifully. Like, she talked about her time there, and she talked about how they F with you, this and that. And she basically said it as simply as they can. Why do they do it? Because they can.
Mm-hmm.
And bro,
Katrina,
yeah, Katrina, right? This
Mm-hmm.
stuff pops them. It pops them, bro. They think it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
It pops them, and it's a game. What they're trying to do, bro, I'll tell you exactly what's going on behind the scenes. They're trying to break her. That's exactly what they're doing. But she's married to a wrestler, Rusev, who knows exactly what they're trying to do. So Rusev is there saying, "No, you don't sell this and act like this is the greatest storyline you've ever been in, and you can't wait to go through the next table." And bro, if you noticed it, like the first time they put Lana through a table, that's how she put it over online.
Yeah.
Oh, always dreamed of going through a table, and like, but so that's the mind game, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And the office will continue. The more she doesn't sell, the more hell bent they will get on getting her to sell.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like I said, bro, she's married to a wrestler who knows the game, and he's saying no matter what, when they give you your marching orders on Monday, you tell them how great it is, and you can't wait to go out and do it, because that pisses them off more than anything. That's the game. But Chris, think about the valuable television time that's being wasted in this.
Yes.
Think about it, bro.
Yes. Yes. I mean, 9 weeks of being put through a table. And it's like, you know, this week the streak ended, but at the same time, you know, we'll get further into it. At the end of the day, what does this lead to? Riddle defeating Sheamus. Riddle gets the first spot in the triple threat #1 contenders match. Would you have put Riddle over Sheamus here, or Sheamus?
Bro, let me ask you a question. Was the Riddle promo before this or after this?
It was after, because he went to MVP.
I want to make sure we talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
Bro, now, haven't they been telling us in the last few weeks that they were going to McIntyre and Sheamus?
Yes.
Okay, like, so first of all, bro, let me make one thing perfectly clear. Sheamus and McIntyre would mean, even if they still go there, bro, it means absolutely nothing.
Correct.
They beat Sheamus to death. Sheamus means nothing. Bro, if you know you're going to eventually make Sheamus a contender again, bro, you got to plan that a year out. When you've done so much damage to a talent, you know, Jeff Hardy beat him. Bro, didn't Riddle beat him once before? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Bro, when you've beat a talent like this to death, you need a year to rebuild this talent. Mm-hmm. So they were telling us Drew Sheamus, and I'm like, okay, bro, nobody gives a shit about that. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, Chris. But nobody cares about that. You've beaten Sheamus means nothing. He doesn't mean anything. So, bro, maybe they got the hint. And maybe they realize, well, yeah, maybe Sheamus and Drew isn't as hot as we thought it was. Because I know on our show, you know, me, Ben, and Stevie, who were here last week, we said exactly that. Mm-hmm. So maybe they finally dawned on there was no money in McIntyre and Sheamus, so they decided to put Matt Riddle over. But I would assume Sheamus and McIntyre is dead now, I would assume.
It looks like it. It looks like it doesn't have any type of footing anymore. So we'll get to the Riddle approaching MVP backstage. He's got some business deals. I'm talking about some new food product events. Would you buy the food product or throw it in the trash?
Bro, I swear I'm sitting here and I'm like, isn't this R-Truth's shtick? Doesn't like R-Truth play this? What is Riddle an idiot now just because he says the word bro? So now they've managed to make Riddle like a complete total idiot. Mm-hmm. And like I thought R-Truth was the village idiot. So what? Mm-hmm. Now we got two village idiots. Whatever. But Bro, I don't know. They don't. Bro, you've got a 74. How old is Riddle?
34, I believe.
Yeah, you've got a 74-year-old man writing for somebody 40 years his freaking junior,
34.
who doesn't have a clue.
Yeah.
Just doesn't have a clue.
Yeah.
I like Riddle, bro. Riddle could be cool. Riddle could be entertaining. You could definitely get, kids to draw to him, and maybe teenagers, very Darby Allin-ish almost. You could go that route with him.
I can see that.
But to make him an idiot because he says bro. So then again, bro, it's stuff like this that I got to really look back at. I know Riddle's been in some trouble, and there's been some, is this punishment for you? You always have to ask yourself that with this company. There always seems to be some kind of a motive, because, bro, you can't be booking that badly. You can't.
Yeah, and I don't see equity in promos like that. I mean, how is that building him as a character? He's a #1 contender for the WWE Championship, and having some type of Bush League, segment on the back of, coming up with some products for the Hurt Business. I mean, how does that look like? How is that painting the picture of someone who has the potential of being your next WWE champion? Who in the world would want to buy into that? It doesn't make any sense at all. That's a really, really bad way of paving your potential future star. And now, because of segments like that, I'm like, yeah, there's no way that Matt Riddle is going to win the match next week, because who would want their WWE champion to try to sell products to the Hurt Business and talk to Bobby Lashley? I mean, there's no cohesion with this, and it doesn't really prop up the character at all.
Bro, I swear to you, with the bro gimmick, okay, probably 84, 94, 2004, 2000, probably 35, 40 years ago, Vince saw Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That's what he's seeing, bro. He's seeing Louis Spicoli because the dude says bro. Yeah. So that's all Vince needs to create a character. That's all he needs, bro.
Yeah. Wow. We get to backstage, Asuka versus Lana. Somehow Asuka convinced Lana. This is another weird backstage promo. Lana wins the Survivor Series. She's not convinced that she should go for the Raw Women's Championship. Asuka, the champion, convinces Lana to go for the championship. She says, I accept. If you're a female wrestler, if you're a male or women's wrestler, if you're not confident enough that you deserve a title shot, why are you in the business, Vince?
No, exactly. Bro, Chris, if we're going to sit here and poke holes like that in this, bro, come on. There are so many things like that, Chris, that we're absolutely numb to. Next case in point. Piggybacking off what you just said, I'm the referee of the match. Here comes Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler. Oh, it's okay to just let them come meander down to ringside. Right. And that's okay. Bro, think about that. Think about MMA. Think about professional boxing. Mm-hmm. Bro, the third-ranked contender is going to come out, just kind of hang around ringside. Bro, it's the rules of wrestling. And then, bro, think about this. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are DQ'd. Why are they DQ'd? They weren't helping Lana. So why? Bro, the correct way is the match is now out of control. The referee throws out the match. True. He lost control. He's throwing it out. Why are they disqualified? They're not coming down to help Lana. It's stuff like that, Chris, that they don't even think twice about that moronic stuff. Mm-hmm. And in 2020, it's beyond laughable. It's literally embarrassing. It's literally embarrassing.
Yeah, and why would you do that segment knowing that you're going to do the tag match right after that? You know what I mean? Like it's a more waste of time. It just seems like you're really stretching 3 hours to make
That's
this 2 seconds.
exactly. They're eating up clock, bro. That's all they're doing. I knew immediately, bro. I knew immediately when Lana and Asuka bailed back in the ring. I'm like, here comes the tag.
Yeah.
We're going to get another 10, 12 minutes out of this. Here comes the tag. Sure enough, we go to commercial break. We come back with the tag. Bro, it's so cookie cutter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So Lana and Asuka win the match. Asuka gets the fall on Shayna Baszler. Does this lead to Asuka and Lana becoming the tag team champions, Vince? Could they do it?
Who knows, bro? Anything can happen in the WWE. It's what the world is watching. Anything can happen, man. Anything can happen.
Indeed. If you know what, it didn't seem like this was going to be anywhere near the plan from 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 months ago. But I really have a strong feeling that the WWE in their mind is like, see, this is what the plan was all along. I got a strong feeling that Asuka and Lana is going to win those tag titles, and WWE is going to try to play the reverse psychology of, you see, you didn't see it, none of you saw it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
we've known this for a long time. This is where we wanted Lana to be at from day one.
Yeah, oh, they're geniuses, man. Oh, shit, they pulled the wool over my eyes if they do that, man.
Right. Yeah. We'll see it. We'll see it. I got a really good hunch that may happen.
Chris, let me ask you a question, because you just went back to a Survivor Series. I think you said in '87, right? Chris, you know what my overall feeling is with wrestling in general? And Chris, I've been a fan for a lot of things for a very long time. Okay. And, you know, Chris, as I get older, the players become younger. You know, so I'm seeing that, you know, bro, there was a time when I was younger than every Major League Baseball player I was watching. Well, bro, now I'm, 35 years older, 25 years older than every baseball player. But here's the thing, bro, when baseball players come up, when basketball players come up, when NFL players, I'm still watching the same game, but these guys belong. Like when Bryce Harper comes up, Bryce Harper belongs. Mike Trout belongs. Bro, I watched Pete Rose play. Bro, Mike Trout, when they come up, they belong. Bro, my problem with wrestling is overall, I feel like I am watching 7 hours of television a week, where the majority of the people that I'm watching just should not be on my TV screen. They don't belong. Bro, they come across as kids. You know what it is to me, bro? You know what I feel like I'm saying? And think about this for a second. Chris, think about Vince Russo. I want to be a baseball player. I want to be a baseball player. I want to be a baseball player. Bro, somehow or another, I make it to the big leagues, but like I suck. And like I'm striking out like 3 times every game, but I'm still in every game. Like, think about that.
A good point.
I feel like I'm seeing a bunch of kids that had a dream to be professional wrestlers. And bro, somehow, some way, they found themselves on a prime time wrestling show.
Yep. And I'll even add to that. Like what I see is that you have someone who's an aspiring quarterback. He always wanted to be a quarterback, and he gets to the pros. He throws 4 picks a game, but here's the problem: the coach puts him in a position where the defense knows the plays way ahead of time to make the play really easy to get a pick. And then the coach blames the quarterback, but he's the one who made the play.
Right, exactly.
For him to throw the ball.
Yeah, bro, I say that all the time. I'm like, these people are not over. They're never going to get over. They should. Who made the decision to put them on TV? Yeah. And bro, that's what I feel like I'm looking at every week. Like, how did you people wind up on this show? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, very sad indeed. We get Keith Lee against Bobby Lashley, DQ. Now MVP is, he's all about, he's the spokesperson of the Hurt Business. He wants his guy, the CEO of the Hurt Business, Bobby Lashley, to have a world title opportunity. Somehow MVP, who's all about business, who knows that there's, as Dusty Rhodes would say, the pay window, baby. There's more money in the pay window when you get a world title, but somehow Keith Lee gets an advantage, and then MVP just walks in the ring and just calls this guy a DQ. I don't get it, Vince.
I'll get it. Want me to explain it to you?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, this served two purposes. Okay, number one, they didn't know how to get out of the match, so we're going to have a DQ. Right. And number two, are you ready next week, bro, for William Shatner versus MVP, bro? That's going to be the big match next week. That's exactly why they did it, bro. They don't know how to get out of the match, so we're going to have a DQ. This will give us 12 to 15 minutes on next week's show. That's it. That's it. That's how they write the show, bro.
Yeah, and I don't want to see Keith Lee against the Hurt Business. He's got the triple threat number one contenders match next week, but I really hope it doesn't lead to some type of MVP Bobby Lashley interference or something like that. I just don't think they're just really doing such a bad disservice to Keith Lee's character by putting him in big name feuds so early in his career. It doesn't really make him look like a monster. He should be plowing through people. I keep saying this every single week. They should book him like a Black Vader. Yeah. Every single week he should be plowing through people. He's having feuds with Orton and Drew early on his time up on Raw. I don't think it's helping his character. He's looking like everybody else. And that's the problem what I see with Keith Lee.
Yeah, bro. I forgot about that triple threat next week, but this will probably do double duty. They can use MVP and Lashley to get, Lee, and then the following week they'll go right into that. So it gives them another week.
Yep, sure does. We get Alexa Bliss against Nikki Cross. They're still continuing this, and Bliss gets
another thing too. Let's backtrack for a second, real quick. Bro, isn't Shayna Baszler supposed to be like the toughest person on the face of the planet?
Yes.
And she can't kick out of a roll-up? I mean, did you see that? I'm like, are you kidding?
That's a good point.
What am I watching here?
She can choke you out, but she can't kick out of a roll-up.
You get her on her back, bro, and she can't. Oh my God. All right, go ahead, bro. I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's a good point. Alexa Bliss. Oh, we forgot the Firefly Funhouse a couple seconds.
Yeah, was this the first time that we saw that guy?
The frog.
Yeah, I've never seen the frog. Where'd he come from?
That was his first time there, and I guess they just wanted somebody else to just murder on TV. just legally murder on TV.
Chris, I say this all the time. Do you know who Christopher Guest is?
It sounds familiar.
He makes all those movies that are like parodies, Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, Mighty Win. They're like parodies of folk singers and, people who bring their pets to dog shows and stuff like this, right? Mm-hmm. Bro, I swear to God, I'm being totally honest with you here. So many times I'm looking at this show and I'm like, this is a parody of a professional wrestling show. That's what we're watching. Bro, next case in point, Nikki Cross is the only idiot in the building. But Chris, listen, hear me out for a second. This is the genius of Vince Russo. This is what sports skeet is paying the big bucks for, bro. Bro, if they presented this show as a parody of professional wrestling, it would be over.
Yeah.
Like, if you told me what you're watching, if there was a disclaimer at the beginning of the show, what you're watching here is a parody of the professional wrestling, it would be over. Then you can watch it. You can laugh at it. The big tough girl can't kick out at the count of 3. Nikki Cross suckers into this one. Like, you would buy into it. But the fact that they're trying to get this over where we believe it, it's like, what?
And you saw it a mile away that she was going to turn on Nikki. I mean, come on, Vince. Who did not see that a mile away? I mean, you saw it from the very beginning. She gets Alexa Bliss getting beat up, and then she starts crying. And then as soon as she did the hug, I'm like, we're going to see a Sister Abigail. What happens? Sister Abigail. It was. I mean, you could call this in your sleep, man. It was so obvious to me. I just don't see. I just don't see how. Again, which is weird to me, that Alexa Bliss is playing the heel, but then they're going at the end of the show. The Fiend plays the babyface because Orton is one of the biggest heels right now. But somehow he's feuding with Orton, but Alexa Bliss is clearly making herself a heel right now with Nikki Cross. Help me with this confusion, Vince.
Bro, I don't know. I don't know what to say. For all I know, like I watch SmackDown, and I'm like, okay, I gotta get this straight in my head. We're supposed to be cheering for Sasha Banks, but yet she's going out of her way to sound like a Kardashian, and we all hate the Kardashian. Like, we all hate, bro, she sounds just like a freaking Kardashian. The Kardashians are heels.
Yeah. So,
like, I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know. Bro, I don't know. I swear to God, I did not watch Survivor Series yesterday. So Jeff Lane watched the Taker gimmick, and he's laying this out to me and all the things. And, and I'm like, he goes, yeah. And this one was there, that one was there. And he goes, and Kane was there. And I said, Jeff, do not tell me Glenn Jacobs came down to the ring.
Full gear.
I said, please, like, what are they doing?
Full gear.
Bro, what are they doing? What are they doing?
Yeah, and what made it even worse, Vince, was they just had a horseshoe full of talent around the ring. And Kane comes out full gear. The only person the Godwins came out. They had the suspenders on, but it wasn't like anywhere near. I mean, they're both bald heads now and everything. And so, I mean, Godfather came out in gimmick, but I mean, that's what he does in real life. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, Kane, he came out in full gear. And then after that, they go away and they do a tribute, which the tribute was nice. They come back and Vince is in the ring and everybody is poof, gone. And so I'm thinking in my head, why exactly did y'all come out? Nobody said a thing. Nobody said a single word. And then, they just brought him out.
And then this is his big retirement, right? This is it. This is it. Yeah. His wife ain't there.
Yeah, good point.
Like, I'm like, what? Bro, mark my words. Mark down this date. Bro, that interview ended with him and gimmick and Kane and gimmick and everybody gimmick. Bro, the interview ended with, now it's time for me to rest in peace. I guarantee you, Chris, between now and WrestleMania, you're going to have a heel say, You don't rest in peace until I say you rest in peace. Mark my words, bro. Because
what do you think it's going to be?
I don't know, bro, but there's no way they could put on something that ridiculous if that was really the final. I mean, absolutely no way.
Yeah, I would have made that so much more better than that. It was very anticlimactic. It absolutely was. I mean, at least you could have. I mean, at least they could have said something. The people who came out could have said something. Vince could have been there with them. They could have all made some type of something. I mean, just coming out there for no reason. I mean, other than we're Taker's boys. I mean, that was it. It was so anticlimactic to me. It didn't make any sense at all. So I agree with you. Taker's one of my favorites of all time. He's in my top 10, probably top 7, really. And just see that, and I've followed Taker since Mark Callis, mean Mark Callis back in WCW, before he came to become the Undertaker. His whole WWE career, I watched matches. I watched Taker matches, at least 90% of them. And to see all that he's put in the business in this, I'm like, okay, there has to be something more. But here as a fan, I've been a journalist for a while now, but I'm saying this as a fan. I don't want to see the Undertaker on my screen again.
You will.
We probably will.
You will.
I don't, especially following his last ride documentary. His big thing was he felt the need to come back because he didn't have a good feel about his last match. Like that was kind of his addiction. That was his problem. He was like, oh, I didn't like the Roman thing. I didn't like how it turned out. I didn't like the Brothers of Destruction tag match. I didn't like the Goldberg thing. He kept coming back like, oh, I just don't like it. Here's the issue. If he goes against anybody, say if it's the Fiend at WrestleMania, if he doesn't like how the match goes, that's another 5 years.
Bro, is he going to like the way the retirement went last night?
I was thinking the same thing.
You okay, everything else sucked, but that was good. Like, come on, bro. He's not going to look at that back and say, what the freak was I thinking?
Yeah, I agree. I think he would look at that in hindsight and it was like, like it's just meh. Yeah, so I agree. So yeah, we got another Undertaker tribute today. So that was interesting. All right, so heel Styles versus heel Orton, and a heel Fiend distracts a heel Orton, and a heel Styles beats a heel Orton because a heel Fiend distracts a heel Orton. Vince,
what? First of all, why is the Fiend distracting Orton? Are we going back to burning down the house in 5 years ago? Is that what we're going back to?
Yeah. Yep. They are, and they played, and they're continuing to play those segments of the Firefly Funhouse and things like that. And so I like the fact that Styles won. It's at least it's something different with Styles versus Drew. At least it's something different. I don't want to see Orton Drew anymore. We've buried that to the ground, burned that to the ground. At least Styles and Drew bring something different. I think. When I saw Styles come on Raw, I said, okay, well, I think he could be a good candidate for Drew because it would make some good matches. But again, if there's no build to this, if there's nothing that's enticing me as far as the build up, why do I care that it's just, another match for the world title?
Yeah, there's no stakes, bro. There's no stakes on anything. Nothing. Bro, I don't mean to be, I swear, I don't mean to be Debbie Downer. I really don't, guys, but it's like, just give me an effort.
Yeah.
Just at least try to. You cannot tell me you tried to make this a good show, because I will tell you, you're lying to me. Like, what was it that you thought would be good about this show? What did you think would really be good? Bro, the minute this show ended, here's how you could tell if a show is good or not. Bro, the minute this show is ended, you don't remember one single thing. Not one. And
in contrast, SmackDown is the best thing going in all of professional wrestling right now. I mean, I love the Roman J angle. I absolutely love it. There's so many parts of SmackDown that I literally enjoy watching every Friday whenever I watch it on the weekend. To me, SmackDown and Raw are complete night and day. It just really
even,
is. To me.
Even with SmackDown, I mean, Chris, look at how quickly they ended the Mysterio gimmick, bro. That could have been 6 months. That could have been 6 months within literally, bro, 3 weeks. Disciple Messiah. Next week, Disciple screws Messiah. Next week, Disciple pins Messiah. Game over. Like what? Like seriously?
Yeah. I think they could. I think they should have done like a loser leaves because on Survivor Series, Seth just looked at his team and said, "This is for the greater good." Turned around, got on his knees and got bro kicked by Sheamus, and so clearly Seth is going to be gone for a while because of Becky's maternity. So she announced that she was pregnant in April, right after Mania. So at this point, she should be nearly 8 months pregnant. So I guess he's going to be gone for a little while for some maternity. I would have booked this as some type of loser leaves or something like that with Dominic, because Dominic keeps getting the short end of the stick every week, on Raw when they were going against each other. I agree with you. I would have put more equity in the Murphy part of it with the girlfriend and all that. Yeah.
Bro, if Murphy was setting up the girl and was setting up the Mysterio family, well, now at least Dominic can go there with Murphy with Seth gone.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're brother-in-laws now, like,
right.
Okay, now what?
Right.
Bro, I don't get it. Like,
yeah.
I don't get it, man.
Yep. Well, we shall see with next Monday. You got some brand to promote, man. First of all, I want to thank you for passing the baton over to Stevie and Ben. They did a really good job last week. It was lots of fun. So thanks for passing the baton over to them. And you can see them and more people on the brand. Let the listeners know about it.
Yeah, guys, I have 2 platforms for podcasting. russosbrand.com. We've got separate shows on Russo's Brand. And, wrestlers that you see Ben and Stevie on there. You see Stevie Ray from Harlem Heat. You see the Disco Inferno on there. Big Vito, is on there, LaGrasso. And then you go over to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/RussoTWC. I do another show with Disco. We have Just Incredible PJ. He does a show on that network. We have 2 different platforms, guys. And we do content every single day. As a matter of fact, guys, there's a big special coming up in December. So go to russosbrand.com if you want to give it a chance. You'll see a lot of the great names in wrestling. Shane Douglas is part of the family.
The franchise.
Yeah, you guys will see a lot of good shows that you'll really like. Just go to russosbrand.com.
Good stuff, man. Well, it's always been a pleasure. It's a pleasure every single week, man. I'm glad you're doing better. Once again, thanks for your time, Vince. It's always fun, man. I love talking Raw with you because we both are very sometimes we look like 2 grumpy men just talking about something very upsetting. But sometimes I'm a psychotherapist. There's some catharsis and people who are very disgruntled like you are about a particular topic. So a lot of times we come in disgruntled about Raw, but here's the thing. We want Raw to succeed. We don't want to come here every week saying how bad it was.
Bro,
I mean, we want them to succeed.
Bro, I don't think people understand how much easier it would be for us if this show was good. It's easier, bro. I've reviewed some good shows and it's easy. Absolutely. I hate when I got to be this way because I know right away, he's bitter because he's no longer living the dream of Vince McMahon telling him what to do 24 hours a day. It's like, bro, I wish this were a good show. I really do, man. But it is what it is, man.
Yep, Kim said 100% agree with you guys every week. So we got more people who who agrees with us. So Vince, has been a pleasure, man. Thanks so much, and for everybody, it's been another successful episode of Legion Raw. On behalf of Vince Russo, I'm Dr. Chris Featherstone. Always remember, oh, what a rush! Have a good night, everybody.